Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to talk about letting go of the grid or releasing the grid, and I am going to explain what that means. But for those of you who are new, I am on my new journey where I am combining my Sisterlocks. I've had these Sisterlocks for 7 years and I have decided for various reasons to combine them, and we've got some videos that you can have a look at which go into my reasons. Now today I'm talking about releasing the grid, letting go of the grid. And what do I mean by that? So firstly, I'm just going to say that these are just my thoughts for where I am currently on my journey. This is a journey of transition, so I don't know what these are going to look like as we go further down the months, and it's just going to be a journey of discovery. Let's talk about the grid first of all, just in case you're not familiar with it. Now the grid is it's a way that locks are partitioned. The hair is partitioned as part of the Sisterlocks system, and it's like a little grid pattern, effectively small squares with roughly even amounts of hair in each. And the idea behind the grid is that you'll have a uniform formation of locks with nearly the same amount of hair in each of the squares, so that the locks grow through uniformly. And so that is the grid. Now, as part of creating the grid also trains the hair to grow within those particular squares. And one thing that I've become became very conscious of while I was having my hair maintained in the grid is that I still can actually hear the comb against my scalp scraping my hair into the grid formation to maintain the look of the grid. And that is actually a key point, that the grid effectively is about aesthetics. So you get the wonderful look of Sisterlocks, but the grid is what gives you that, because it gives you an equal amount of hair within each of those sections. Now, I'm remembering back to my very first journey when I had Sisterlocks originally, and about a year or two into that journey I cut my hair. I had an undercut, so from about this point downwards I had my hair shaved, so I just kept Sisterlocks at the top. The hair was shaved down to roughly about that much, so there wasn't very much hair. But what I noticed, and we'll try and put some pictures in as we go along, what I noticed was that I could see the grid formation on my scalp. So a tiny bit of hair, but I could literally see all the little squares on my scalp. And that image has stayed in my mind and has come back to me as I've been thinking about the grid more recently. So what does letting go of the grid actually look like? Now, for me, it means a departure in how I maintain my Sisterlocks. It means I'm no longer going to be interlocking. It means that I'm not going to be palm rolling. And it means that I am no longer going to have this uniform look. Because I've combined my Sisterlocks, I've got them in combinations of 2s and 3s, and there are now some 4s. That means because they are not all on the grid formation, they are still, broadly speaking, but because I'm combining them, the hair is going to start to grow outside of those grid lines, which is fine by me because I am letting go of the grid. But what that means is that the hair is going to start doing its own thing. The grid is, if you like, in service of the look, but my new combining journey is going to be in service of the hair, so it's going to do its own thing outside of the grid. So what does that mean instead? It means that, as I said, I've combined my locks selectively, but it also means that I'm encouraging the hair to grow in a different way. It's no longer being forced to grow into a grid formation, it's just going to grow as and where it sees fit. And at different schedules, it's not going to be on a 6-week schedule, 7 or 8 week or 12 week, as and when I may just retwist the hair in, but broadly speaking I'm going to let it do its own thing. So as part of letting it do its own thing and releasing the grid, it means that as the hair grows through, I'm no longer going to have this uniform look all along. It will start to look thicker at root level, and as part of it starting to look thicker at root level, it will effectively be messier. So it'll be fuller, thicker and messier, but I am fine with that because that is part of the journey that I've chosen to go on, and I'm actually looking forward to what that will look like. Of course, I'm not going to have the look and feel that I have now. I'll have it on the ends, and I'm going to keep the ends as they are, but it's going to be interesting to see what that looks like as it gets longer and it starts to do its own thing. I've really got to say that I am looking forward to seeing it looking thicker. I am going to try and see if I can find some pictures of the grid, but one thing I do remember is that whenever I had my hair freshly done, I didn't actually like the look of it. So I hope I can find one, but I probably don't have any up-close pictures showing my grid other than the grid picture that I shared a couple of videos ago. So let's see what we can find, but I'm looking forward to this thicker growth. Now, where does this leave me now and going forward? It means that this is a journey of evolving. It's an evolution. There's no set destination in mind because I don't know where this is going. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I guess that's part of the adventure of the discovery. We're going to discover that together, and I'm going to share that with you on this journey. It does mean there'll be less precision, of course, because the grid formation is going to go over time, but it also means, as I said, it's going to be messy. It's the transition. It's going to look fuller, and the key thing, of course, is it's going to be a pain-free journey for me as well, because there won't be as much manipulation and I won't be doing that on a regular basis. So this is where we are at the moment. Already I can start to see what that's going to look like, because I can see at root level how much thicker it is, because rather than the locks sitting flat against my scalp, I can actually see, you can probably see along the hairline at the front here, you can actually see some of that growth already coming through, and for me that's now contributing towards a fuller, thicker look, I feel already, which is great. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how this grows out. So this is where I am on the journey. We are going to be following this journey, but we're going to have some monthly updates. But in between the monthly updates, I've got lots of exciting content to share with you. So please do stay tuned. So all that's left for me to do is to thank you for following me on this journey, and thank you for watching this video and for being a part of my experience. I do have one question for you. If you're thinking of releasing your own grid, leaving that behind, please do share in the comments and sharing where you are in your journey currently. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Please like, share, subscribe, and see you next time. Until then, bye.